The next step in 2025. As you can see, we've already got a little bit of a start on it. Some components are starting to be removed here. So what's up with the old KLX? I'm not sure how much of it I mentioned before, but the KLX has issues. As usual, strange issues that I don't see many other bikes having. I think I've read of maybe one or two other instances on the internet where someone has mentioned this has happened to their KLX, but it's certainly happening to mine. Ever since I bought this bike, the intake valves wear very fast. In the beginning, it would barely make it to a scheduled valve set, and the intake valves would be tight. I would readjust them and go back in to check early, and they'd be tight again, and again, and again. Finally, to the point where at one time, they got so tight that the bike was losing compression, and it was having a very hard time to start. So we did another valve set on it then, and in no time at all, it was back to that point again, almost. Not quite as bad, but it was getting there again, I could tell. So I opened it back up and it was tight again, one of them really tight compared to the other this time. And I'm basically running out of adjustment. They don't make valve shims any thinner than what I have in there. So time's up, something's got to happen. The valves are basically recessing into the head. So the cylinder head has to come off and those valves need to be replaced. Hopefully the valve seats, the head itself is fine. I suspect that they will be. I'm guessing just the hardened coating on the valves or whatever has worn away and they're just eating themselves. So now we've got this. Parts. I started pricing up OEM parts and quite expensive. And I said, you know what? The OEM parts have already proven to be junk. So why not take a risk? Ooh. So that's valves, valve seals. And then this, what's this now? Well, I figured if I have to go in there and do anything, I might as well reward myself. Why not turn the 250 into a 300 while we're there? I figure this is a good time to do it because the cylinder head's coming off anyway. And as far as I know, I have no reason to believe that the cylinder and the piston would be in bad shape. So they can come out and just be stored away in case this turns out to be garbage and it needs to come apart again someday. We'll have original parts to go back in it. So we're going to get going on project KLX 250-ish. I usually have a hell of a time to get myself started on projects like these. I just keep pushing it off. But after working on that H2SX, it kind of reminded me that this needs to be done, preferably before the nice weather gets going. So we should get started on it, even if it's just something minor. Like yesterday I brought it up here, pulled the side covers and the seat off of it. That's all I had time for, so that's all I did. And that's kind of how we're going to go at this. We're going to fix this bike the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So maybe I'll take a couple more pieces off today, see where we end up. Well, we've gotten about an hour in today. Here's where we stand. Coolant's drained, fuel is drained, tank is removed, rest of the bodywork removed, fan gone off the rad, carburetor's out. The work isn't difficult and it doesn't take very long. It's just a matter of getting going, I guess. Much easier than on sport bikes. Well, here we are, another couple hours into it. Nice thing about dirt bikes, so much easier to work on. We got the head sitting here and we've essentially found what we figured we would. Intake valves disappearing into the head. Exhaust valves not nearly as bad, but they're going to get swapped out also. So we'll disassemble this and start lapping some valves into that head, I guess. Okay, another minor positive update here. We're days and days and days into this now, but still about the same amount of labor. No time to get at things. Anyway, the seats didn't look perfect. It was even doing some measuring and they're not perfect. So I was wondering if I would have to cut them, and if I did cut them I was going to lose more valve clearance, and that was the main issue to begin with, and I didn't know if the new valves are going to regain enough valve clearance to be able to afford to give any more up on those seats.
I really didn't want to have it brought to a machine shop and have the seats replaced and all that. Anyway, I did a quick little lapping with them. I put them back together just to test, checked them. They were leaking. So damn it, this is not going good. So back apart, lapped them again, and fully expecting them to still leak a bit. So I was going to put the cams in, see what kind of valve clearance I had, and then make decisions on cutting seats and all that. Anyway, I just popped them in here this morning and... Oh, I'm spilling water. Very tough with one hand on the camera. But yeah, there's no more leaks. So I guess that solves part of my problem. Because let's face it, this bike is not going out to try win the Supercross title. We're going to putt around in the woods and, you know, teach my daughter to ride her dirt bike and stuff like that. I think this is going to be fine. So, move on. One more quick update. We got the cylinder and the piston out. Everything looks great. Like, no visible wear on anything. The valves and the seats are the weak point, obviously. Nothing else. And here we have the new 300 cylinder. And the new Big Bore piston already installed on the rod. We're into reassembly at this point. And get those dowels transferred over, new gasket in place, and we can drop the new cylinder on. Yesterday, the cylinder and the head went on. Everything's torqued down. Now we are ready to start getting cams in this, get it timed, maybe do a quick compression check. Well, that's it. Besides maybe some cosmetic stuff, it's basically got everything it needs to run now. We've got the coolant topped up, a little splash of gas thrown in it. We should have enough battery for what we need to do here. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. Wow. Nothing to it. All right. Let's assemble it enough that we can maybe start a break-in process here. Well, this is it. The first shakedown or break-in run. Hopefully light on the braking part. We're still running the same jetting that we ran with stock displacement. So far it seems to be okay. Just had a couple of pretty good acceleration runs with it. Nothing, you know, crazy, not the red line yet or anything like that. Power improvements so far, nice. I mean, you still got to remember you're only jumping from a 250 to a 300. It's not gonna knock your socks off or anything. When warming it up, I noticed the cam chain's a little noisy, but I seem to remember it being that way before. I had to actually physically go in there and advance the tensioner one more notch by hand. It was like teetering on the edge of advancing and it just wouldn't. Third gear will let these folks get ahead a little ways, which is going to take an hour. Yeah, that cam chain sounds a little chattery. Roll on into the power, bring the RPM up, and then just back off it. Let things cool, let the oil get up in there. The worst thing is that the jetting could probably use a little bit more fuel, which sucks because, I mean, we've upped the displacement of the engine, but we have not upped the displacement of the fuel tank. And it's still a major weak point on this bike. Pulling away from a light like that, though, you kind of notice it pretty well. That little extra power that it's got. A little less clutch slipping and more pulling. Quick fluid leak check. Bottom end of the engine still dirty as ever. But all coolant and all oil right where it should be. Fuel too, I guess. Lights right up. So if nothing else, we'll hope that the cylinder head valve situation should be corrected for, you know, this got us to like 25,000 kilometers, so hopefully it'll be good for another 25. Whether or not I own this bike for those kilometers, I don't know. We bumped it to 300 for cheap. Hopefully that'll turn out to be good. But I don't know if that's everything that I'm going to need to make me want to hang on to it. I mean, realistically, this is going to be 12 years I've had this bike. That's the longest I've owned anything. You know, I've had fun with it, but just constantly looking and thinking about something else. Maybe a DRZ, maybe just a DR. Realistically, a DR 650 would be just fine for what I do. If we ever decided to start heading into the woods up north again, it would not be that big of a deal to ride it up there. I was wondering if this thing could be made a little bit happier on the highway. You know, with the extra displacement, could I rearrange the gearing to maybe bring the RPM down a little bit on the highway? Well, my initial impression here is probably not. It'll probably make the stock gearing a little better off-road, but I don't know if it's got, you know, if it's got the juice to really up the gearing for the highway and still keep it useful off-road and down low. Which is kind of annoying because I try to keep these things in mind, you know, the whole low-end gearing and off-road usability, and the amount of times I use it off-road is pretty low, but there's still the opportunity to ride with Bianca now. Not that I need any big-time performance to pull that off, but still. So I guess this has been Project KLX 250-ish. I know there's been a fair amount of people wondering how these AHL Big Bore kits work out, so I haven't found a real definitive answer online yet, so I guess I'll be the guinea pig. We'll figure this out, see how it works out, see how it lasts. We'll keep the stock cylinder on the shelf just in case. Anyway, let's get 2025 going, I guess.